Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my May mid-month wrap-up. So today is the 26th of May and I haven't filmed my mid-month wrap-up yet. I keep banging on, I know, about how little time I have to film, and this is yet another example. I'm actually attempting to film this at night. I don't have any proper lighting, so I have a really weird setup going on here to try and light this video right for you guys. I actually almost burnt my hand on a lamp trying to get this with no matter seemed to be where I put the lamp, I ended up with shadows, and this looks alright at the moment on camera. So hopefully this is lit up alright and it doesn't look like complete shit for you guys. If it does, I apologize. Anyway, let's just jump straight in and talk about the books that I read from the 1st through the 15th of May. I managed to read 7 books in the first half of May, which I am pretty pleased with. And as I said, let's just jump straight in and talk about the books. So the first book I completed in the month of May was Gates of Paradise by V.C. Andrews. This is the 4th book in the Castile family saga. To be honest, I haven't really been enjoying this series. The only reason I decided to go onto this book was because this book actually follows the main character from the first 3 books' daughter, and it is not actually following that same character, so I thought I'd give it a go. Unfortunately, I didn't really enjoy this installment either. It just seems to be continually rehashing the same plot. There's nothing new really brought to the plot, and I find the characters to be extremely annoying. In the end, I gave this 2.5 stars. There's only 1 book left in the series, and even though it's a prequel to the whole series and goes back to the very beginning, and I know what happens obviously because it is a prequel, I probably will read it just to say that I've read the whole series, considering there's only 1 book to go, but it's not a series I would necessarily recommend picking up. Next, I completed Taken at Dusk by C.C. Hunter. This is the 3rd book in the Shadow Fall series. I listened to this on audiobook. This is a series that follows a young girl who goes to a camp that turns out to be a camp for kind of supernatural creatures. She doesn't know what kind of supernatural creature she is, and she doesn't know that supernatural creatures exist until she goes to this camp, and it just kind of follows her story. And as I said, this is the 3rd book. I really enjoy this series. By this point, the love triangle that happens in this series is feeling a little kind of drawn out. And I kind of feel like I know where the love triangle is going to go, but we'll see. I haven't got to the end of the series yet, so we'll see where it goes. I do really enjoy this series. They're nothing groundbreaking or very original necessarily, but they are just really, really enjoyable. And in the end, I gave this one 4 stars. The next book I completed was Crime in the Picture by Emily Rodda. This is the 12th book in the Teen Power Inc. / Raven Hills Mystery series, which, as I've mentioned a million times, is a series I'm rereading from my childhood. This one was enjoyable. There's not as much of a mystery as I like in these books in this one, but it was still really enjoyable. This whole series is just really enjoyable, and I have been really loving rereading this. It's just given me so much nostalgia, and I've been really enjoying myself. In the end, I gave this one 3 stars. The next book I read is Cartel by Lily St. Germain. This is a book that follows a girl who I believe is 19 years old, and her father is involved in kind of a mob kind of scene with drugs and things like that. Her father does something, loses the kind of mob boss kind of guy a lot of money, and the mob boss is going to murder her whole family, but she offers herself up kind of so that he won't murder her whole family, and she kind of gives her life over to this mob boss for him to do with her what he will. The mob is also connected to kind of this motorcycle gang, and the story just kind of goes from there. It's basically an adult erotic romance series, and this is the 1st book in what I believe is going to be a trilogy. Basically this book is just what it sounds like. The book literally, the first time we're introduced to the main character, she is engaging in carnal acts in an alley. So if that gives you any indication of how this book is, then it's a pretty good indication. This series, in my opinion, this book is very sexist, very misogynistic. Is it enjoyable? yes, to some degree. It depends how much I think you can kind of put aside those issues that this book kind of has and just kind of enjoy the story. I don't have too much trouble generally putting aside those issues, so I did kind of like, I could enjoy my reading experience, but I could definitely recognize the problems that this book has. I don't really know what else to say about this. In the end, I gave this 2.5 stars. The next book I want to talk about is Black Coffee by Agatha Christie. This is, I believe, the 7th book in the Hercule Poirot series. I don't believe this one was actually written as a general like novel, though. I think it was written as a play. I did really enjoy this one, as I enjoy all Agatha Christie's books that I've read so far. It is very enjoyable. This one follows the mystery of, there's this kind of famous scientist kind of guy, and he's developing this new formula, like for a weapon of some kind, I think it is. I can't really remember, but he contacts Poirot because he believes that someone who is living in his house, like one of his family members or etc., is trying to steal the formula. When Poirot gets there, as he kind of turns up, they're all kind of locked in a room, and the person who contacted him about this stolen formula is dead. So there's not just only the mystery of the stolen formula, but there is also the mystery kind of who murdered the scientist. And as I say, it is very interesting. It has all the usual Agatha Christie, like, you know, twists and turns and things such as that, and lots of red herrings, as these books always have, and it was very, very enjoyable, and I gave it 4 stars. Next, I completed Awake at Dawn by C.C. Hunter. This is the 4th book in the Shadow Falls series. I actually read this one very, very quickly. Again, I listened to it on audio, but my work colleague who I share an office with was away, and so I listened to this almost like throughout a whole day at work in my office. So I got through this very quickly, and this installment in the series gave me all the feels. There's something that I've been waiting for since basically book 1, and it finally happened in this book, and that was really exciting. And something happened at the end that destroyed my soul, and that was just enjoyable in a soul-destroying kind of way. I can't wait to read the final installment. Whoever has it checked out on audio from Overdrive at the moment has had it out for ages, and I keep waiting for them to return it because I really, really want to find out how the series ends. These stories are predictable, and they are kind of light on in plot. As I mentioned, they're not groundbreaking stuff. They are totally enjoyable. This is probably my favorite in the series so far. I gave this one 4.25 stars. And the final book I completed in the first half of May is The Awakening by Kate Chopin. This is a book that I really knew not a lot about going in, but I picked up to fulfill the challenge of reading a book on the Rory Gilmore Book Challenge. This is a book that is known to have be quite a feminist themed book. It had an introduction in it at the start, and that was almost my favorite part of the whole book. I really, really enjoyed the introduction. The introduction was really great. I really, really enjoyed the themes in the story, and I did find it a bit slow, and I wasn't sure how I felt about the ending, but I did enjoy it. And as I said, I really did enjoy the themes and kind of messages within the story. In the end, I gave this 3.5 stars. So those are the 7 books that I read in the first half of May. If you have read any of these books and have any thoughts, I would love to chat to you guys in the comments down below. Hopefully I can very soon get to filming my May wrap-up once May is completed. I have read some pretty good books in the second half of May that I can't wait to talk to you guys about. I'd love to chat to you guys in the comments. As I mentioned, please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. But that's all I've got for this video today. Bye guys!